Mubaka bwatise Ssabaminisita w'eggwanga Uganda Nabbanja mu kugolota abamiruka Amawanga ag'obuvanjuba n'obukiiko obwakono obwa Ssemazingo Africa okulwanyisa okukusa ensimbi n'okuvujjira ebikolwa by'obutujju ng'onayinde ku sipiikiriza oti Munyonyo Pulezidenti Yoweri Kaguta Museveni asabye amawanga ga Africa okukolaganira wamu okulwanyisa omuze ogw'okukusa ensimbi ogumanyiddwa nga money laundering n'okuvujjira obutujju nti kuba amawanga ssekinnoomu tegasobola kugumalawo.
Our collective resolve to strengthen financial integrity, combat illicit financial flows, and safeguard our economies from harmful effects of money laundering and terrorism financing and proliferation.
Okunoonyereza okwasembayo kulaga nti Africa efiirwa ensimbi eziri mu busa 325 kumpi $8 obwa dola mu muze ogw'okukusa ensimbi buli mwaka, nga Museveni alaze obwennyamivu nti Africa efuuse empuku y'abafere abakukusa ensimbi, kyokka n'ategeeza nti obudde butuuse okunoonya eddagala ery'enkomeredde.
Money laundering and financial terrorism and proliferation are weapons of mass destruction and are not mere crimes. They pose direct threats to our national security, economic stability, and development. And if left unchecked, these illicit activities have the potential to undermine trust in financial systems, discourage investment, and support criminal networks that destabilize our society.
Ono agamba nti ekitundu eky'obuvanjuba n'obukiiko obwakono bwa Africa kiri mu kusoomozebwa okw'amaanyi olw'ebibiina eby'abatujju ebyesomye okumala kuba n'emirembe okuli akabinja ka Al-Shabaab ne ISIS, nga bwekityo weetaaga okubaawo ekikolebwa okumalawo ebikolwa eby'ekitujju.
The Eastern and Southern African region faces threats from several terrorist groups, including Al-Shabaab and Islamic State. Additionally, the rapid digitalization of sub-Saharan Africa has opened up new avenues for terrorist groups to recruit, radicalize, and fundraise online, presenting fresh challenges for counter-terrorism efforts.
Ono bw'akyasaba abakungu bano abatudde Munyonyo okuvaayo n'ebiteeso ebirungi ebinaayamba mu kulwanyisa omuze guno ogw'okukusa ensimbi ez'okuvujjira ebikolwa by'ekitujju mu Africa, nga kino bwe kitaakolebwe bamusiga nsimbi bakukendeera.
As you deliberate over the coming days, I encourage you to focus on actionable strategies that will strengthen our collective response to financial crime.
Museveni era akubiriza amawanga ku lukalu olw'omuddugavu Africa okukolera mu bwegassi mu byenfuna nga baggyayo emiziziko gyonna egiremesa ensuubulagana.
Together, we can strengthen the integrity of the global financial system and combat illicit financial flows and contribute to global economic stability.
Tabamiruka ono ataba amawanga 21 ag'obuvanjuba n'obukiiko obwa ddyo bwa Africa nga yatandika ng'ennaku z'omwezi 28 omwezi ogwedde, nga wakomekezebwa ng'ennaku z'omwezi 4 omwezi guno, ng'onayingira ku hoteri ya sipiikiriza oti Munyonyo ku nkingizi z'ekibuga ky'eggwanga Kampala. Minisita omubeezi w'ebyensimbi Henry Musaasizi alaze ebituukiddwako mu ggwanga Uganda omuli okujja Uganda ku lukalala lw'amawanga agali mu katyabaga k'okukusa ensimbi ekyaliwo omwaka ogwedde, ng'amateeka gakoleddwa okulwanyisa omuze guno nga waliwo n'enteekateeka eziteekeddwawo okulondola abali mu bubbi obw'ensimbi buno obuteeketeeke.
Removal of Uganda from the Financial Action Task Force grey list, the FATF in 2024 recognized our satisfactory implementation of all deficiencies in our anti-money laundering, combating financing of terrorism, legal, regulatory, and operational regime, and removed Uganda from the grey list of countries under increased monitoring, commonly referred to as the grey list.
Samuel Were Wandera akuriye ekitongole ekirondoola entambuza y'ensimbi mu ggwanga ekya Financial Intelligence Authority akakasiza nti ensonga eno bagikutte kannabwara. Frank Kiddu yakusakidde eggulire lino ku lwa KSTV agaleero.
Trafficking, exploitation of weak regulatory frameworks across countries. Strengthening compliance with global standards such as the Financial Action Task Force standards and enhancing collaboration with law enforcement agencies continue to be at the forefront of our priorities. The Eastern and Southern African region faces threats from several terrorist groups, including Al-Shabaab and Islamic State. Additionally, the rapid digitalization of sub-Saharan Africa has opened up new avenues for terrorist groups to recruit, radicalize, and fundraise online, presenting fresh challenges for counter-terrorism efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda, like other ESMLAG member states, has undertaken significant steps to combat money laundering and terrorism financing threats. We have strengthened our legal frameworks, established and strengthened the relevant institutions, and worked closely with regional and international counterparts to exchange intelligence and best practices. However, we acknowledge that combating financial crime is a constantly evolving challenge that requires ongoing adaptation and vigilance. I have been informed that different jurisdictions in the Eastern and Southern African region have made progress in implementing measures to combat money laundering and terrorism financing. However, experience has proven that it is increasingly difficult for states to fight financial crimes on their own, except by working together. Therefore, as a community in the region and beyond, we need to remain resolute in working together to secure the integrity of the global financial system. I commend the Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group, ESMLAG, for its vital role in fostering regional cooperation, supporting capacity building, and ensuring compliance with international standards, particularly those set by the Financial Action Task Force. Together, we can ensure that our nations are not exploited for illicit financial activities. On behalf of the people of Uganda, I also wish to commend the ESMLAG for its contribution towards the removal of Uganda from the list of jurisdictions under increased monitoring by FATF, commonly known as FATF Grey List in 2024. I wish to thank the various cooperating and supporting nations, the Financial Action Task Force, and development partners here today. This is because of the tireless commitment in supporting countries in Eastern and Southern Africa region to implement robust measures to combat money laundering, terrorism financing, and polification financing. As you deliberate over the coming days, I encourage you to focus on actionable strategies that will strengthen our collective response to financial crimes. Let us prioritize information sharing, capacity building, and harmonization of policies that will enhance our region's ability to detect, prevent, and prosecute money laundering and terrorism financing. Because no investor can be attracted to any economy to make losses. Uganda remains fully committed to the ESMLAG agenda and will continue to support regional and global initiatives that build a safer and more transparent financial system. Together, we can strengthen the integrity of the global financial system and combat illicit financial flows and contribute to global economic stability. There is a need to permanently cure Africa's vulnerable position in the global arena of economic and political giants. Africa is still an easy prey for plunder and marginalization, as long as the strides towards economic and political integration remain sluggish. Ladies and gentlemen, as we advocate for peace, it is crucial that industrialization is embraced in order to stop exportation of unprocessed raw materials. This is unfavorable to economies because our people lose money, they also lose jobs. Economies should transition from exportation of raw materials to industrial production through value addition of available natural resources given to African countries by God. This will also ensure our resources are not easily and quickly exhausted. In order to transform socially and economically, countries should produce goods or services for commercialization, targeting regional, continental, and global markets. We should strongly advocate for unity, economic integration, and fight against the subsistence mindset of our communities, and champion infrastructure development, ensure peace and security in the entire continent, remove all